I played through Super Mario 64, Super Mario Galaxy, both 100%. Did they compare to Super Mario Odyssey? In a way.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Hey, it's Nintembros.
Hi!
What's going on, podcast listeners, and welcome back to yet another episode of Nintembros. Today's a very special episode because we have reached number 90. And
Crazy.
that means because we're closing out November a little late, but that means we're going to finish off with an in-depth game review, and that is none less than Super Mario Odyssey.
Yeah, great game. Comes after, if you want to compare it in the mainline games, I like to say, 64, Sunshine, Galaxy 2, Odyssey.
That's how it goes. That's the timeline.
Yeah.
So, without further ado, let's just jump right into it, starting with our opening thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
I'll start.
Yeah.
Prior to playing Super Mario Odyssey, I completed Super Mario 64 and Super Mario Galaxy 100% shortly beforehand, so I got all the stars. Going into
Crazy.
Odyssey, I was expecting the final culmination of all 3D Mario games, the cream of the crop and the best of the best. Odyssey had the expectations of being the best 3D Mario game, and in my opinion, nostalgia aside, it delivers. Super Mario Odyssey was released on October 27th, 2017. So basically what I'm saying is, this game really holds its mark to what players expected it to be. It's not my favorite just because it doesn't hold the same nostalgia.
Right.
But if you're looking at it just like negating nostalgia, this is hands down the best Mario.
Right, I would totally agree, and here's my opening thoughts, right? My very first time I played this, I thought it was super awesome. It wasn't this playthrough. The new gimmick was cool, although I was sad it wasn't Super Mario Galaxy 3. However, taking away nostalgia, it hits the right mark for the next best Mario 3D game, and that still holds true.
Wow, so it sounds like we both actually enjoyed this playthrough a lot.
Oh, absolutely. Dude, how many miles above Paper Mario Sticker Star is this one?
Dude, you can't even compare the two.
Yeah.
It's like apples and oranges at this point.
Yeah, it's not even apples and oranges, because apples and oranges are both still similar in size. It's about a grape to a pomegranate.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Moving right along, we got the story and progression of this game. Mine's really basic, pretty concise. It's Bowser has captured the princess once again, and this time he is planning to force a marriage with her. Usually that doesn't happen.
That's crazy.
Yeah, usually I think he just captures her and keeps him in his hidden lair or whatever.
Is
in
it
the
like
castle.
for ransom? Like, what does he ever capture her for?
I don't know, but this time we know.
Yeah.
And he wants to put a ring on it. To stop this, Mario travels from kingdom to kingdom collecting power moons that help power the Odyssey ship he uses to eventually travel to Bowser and save the princess. And that's what I got.
Did you look that up, or was that just from your memory?
I looked it up and then changed around the words to just like make it really smooth.
Right, okay. Yeah, because that does sound smooth. But here's what I have for story progression, because, this is from what I just remember purely. Mm-hmm. Peach is taken again by Bowser. Wow. And Bowser tries to force a wedding. That's kind of, when you actually take that into perspective, like, Bowser's trying to force a wedding on someone who, that's kind of crazy. Mario...
Peach doesn't want it, man.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Peach don't want that.
Mario, of course, wants to stop this, as he would, and has to go around getting all the things that would be used in the wedding. I don't know why. Like, he kind of got, like, when you're in the Lake Kingdom or whatever, it was like, get the dress. But, like, why?
Oh, dude, that didn't happen to me. I had to get a dress?
But it, like, didn't happen like that. It was just like, you got it after you beat, like, the brute guy.
Oh, I actually don't think I beat the Lake Kingdom. I think I just got, like, the 10 moons and then left.
But do you remember, like, the other stuff? It was like you had to collect, like, something in Luncheon Kingdom.
No.
It was like, okay, it happened. It was really random, though. See, and that's the thing. It was kind of weird. While collecting power moons to eventually get enough power to fly to Bowser and crash the wedding.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
So, kind of cool storyline. Because, I mean, it did end up on the moon in the end.
Great. So, continuing onwards, we talk about the important characters. I'll start.
Right.
You can rebuttal afterwards. So we got Mario.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah.
I thought Luigi led this game, man.
No,
Not gonna
it's
lie.
Mario, and all I had for him is he's the homie.
Yeah, I had, of course, the main protagonist. How could he not be? Imagine if they branded a Mario game as Mario, and then it was like, here, dude, control Yoshi. That'd be kind of awesome.
I would be all for it, honestly.
Super Yoshi Land.
Super Mario Galaxy 2, when you get Yoshi, don't you control Yoshi instead of Mario? Or do you still control
Kind of,
Mario?
yeah. I think. I gotta play Galaxy 2. Anyways, my next one, Cappy. Gives Mario the ability to turn into different things and use him in a few different ways to collect things, kill enemies, and use him for movement. Actually really cool. Once I figured out how to, like, fully utilize his movement, it was really fun just exploring around.
Were you able to actually parkour tricks with him?
Kind of, yeah.
I could never do it, man. I could not leave him tossed out and then like dive. I could barely even dive in this game, to be honest.
Yeah, you had to like figure out the right button combination. After I figured that out, I started using it a ton, and it was kind of like how I speedrun Galaxy. Mm-hmm. You can kind of just like cut corners and everything.
Yeah, very cool. Next one is Pauline. She is the mayor of New Donk City, and she is kind of like replacement of Peach, I think, but not really because she isn't the one captured. But
it was kind of like, you remember Metro Kingdom as like the middle part of the game, the like solid middle part, and so she's kind of important there, and that's where one of the biggest power moons happens. So yeah. Next up, we got Peach. She needs saving, again. Yeah.
Peach.
And wait. Let me take the floor for the next one too, right? Bowser kidnapped Peach, again. Crazy
Great,
stuff.
so that means I'll just bring up the rear, and we got the Broodals. All right.
Don't like them.
They were a group of bunnies working for Bowser to help put together his wedding with Peach. That was their main part of the game, and they appeared as like the Koopalings the Koopas like Iggy and Roy.
Yeah,
that was their spot basically, but they just were not done that great, I don't think.
Yeah, I would agree. I don't like them that much. My last one I have is Cappy's sister. I don't know her name, and she doesn't do much, but I know she's a part of the game.
Right, that was why Cappy wanted to help Mario, was to save his sister. Otherwise, okay. Cappy just would have been like, why do I need to help Mario? Why would I help you go save the princess if I'm not getting anything in return? That was the incentive for Cappy to want to help.
Yeah, alright.
But that brings us to our favorite part and things that we like. So, starting with our favorite part of the game. My favorite part of Odyssey was exploring New Donk City while it was storming. So is that called the Metro Kingdom before it turned?
Yeah.
So the Metro Kingdom was my favorite part. I loved the atmosphere and how it had the creepiness and how the town felt. The icing on the cake was the boss battle. It wasn't a boring bunny. It was a giant wiggler-like robot that you needed to transform into a tank to complete. Definitely the best boss battling scene, I feel.
Yeah, very cool. I have a few things for this, but my biggest thing that I love is just exploring a dynamic and unique universe with Mario. The movement feels great, and just trying jumps, going places, doing parkour, and completing puzzles is the ultimate satisfaction within a Mario game, especially 3D one, and I absolutely love it, and it was done great.
Yeah, I hands down agree. And what was really cool was each kingdom felt open world. Like, it wasn't necessarily like open world like Zelda or whatever, but each kingdom that you can go to wasn't just linear. They had the story, but then you could also branch off and do like all these different moons, get all these like collectible coins, and I think they did exactly right, like what you were saying.
Yeah, for sure.
So, awesome. My next point is I loved capturing and becoming enemies with Cappy. I actually really dig the gimmick a lot because sometimes gimmicks in games can be kind of iffy. We go to Pokemon, we look at terrestrializing and whatnot. It's cool, but I think Cappy's a better gimmick than terrestrializing.
It's kind of apples to oranges. Okay,
you look at the gimmick of Mario Sunshine, right? And you got the Flood.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool, but I didn't like the gimmick that much.
Yeah.
Cappy's better than Flood. All right, you're right. Maybe Pokemon's not the best, but if you compare Cappy to the Flood, Cappy reigns supreme hands down.
What would Mario Galaxy's gimmick be? Is it just that he's in space? It's like the gimmick of the game.
Yeah, and Starbits, I think.
Oh, yeah. Alright, the next thing I liked was most of the kingdoms are pretty awesome. While I only remember a few straight away that come to mind, like the Metro Kingdom and the Desert one, all of them were super cool, unique, like you were saying, with the coins. That was cool. I like that. You could get the different, like, suits to put on, and you needed, like, a certain one to get a certain power moon in every one. And it was just pretty awesome.
Yeah, very customizable.
Well. Yeah.
For sure. Very, very memorable. You got the Luncheon Kingdom, right? It's like the lava was like burnt frosting or something, or burnt frosting was the lava.
It was just like soup, yeah.
Yeah, that was so cool. And I agree, Kingdoms nailed it. I also like the graphics that this Mario game had, because coming off of Galaxy 2,
for sure,
moving into Odyssey, this is a huge upgrade. You can definitely tell this was a Switch game, and it runs like a lot better than even like modern day Switch games, even though this is 5 years old.
Yeah, dude. I mean, this has better frame rates, better graphics than the newest Pokemon does. 100%. 100%. And the next thing I have, I was going to mention that. I didn't have it down, but I was going to. Collecting Power Moons is super cool. There's the mainline story you have to complete, and then there's literally hundreds of extra Power Moons, and I had fun collecting them all that I did end up collecting. And, you know, like you were saying, you don't have to follow the mainline game, which is nice.
Yeah, and you can get all those side power moons, whatever order you want, whatever frequency and difficulty you want to go through to get them. It's very open-ended to the player.
Right, I agree.
I also liked how, we already talked about it a little bit, but there's different currencies for each world. You got the regular coins that travel throughout all of the kingdoms, and then you got the kingdom-specific coins. I liked how there was a good balance of different platforming between 3D Mario and 2D Mario.
Oh, yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah, there was a lot of times where we'd go through a pipe, and then all of a sudden you were old school Mario. Mm-hmm. Even in New Donk City, that little last ending bit, I think a lot of it was done in 2D.
Yeah, it was. Like the song thing, and it was like throwback to the old Donkey Kong game where he's throwing the barrels at you. Yeah, that was awesome.
I like that a lot. I got one more thing. So I feel like in this game, the collectibles are done right. It is optional, but offers worthwhile content that won't affect players who choose not to do it. So you get those coins, right? Those kingdom-specific coins. You can get all these costumes. You can get these little decals for your Odyssey. And it's worthwhile. It's like, hey, yeah, I spent more time in this kingdom. Or I made Mario dress up like this because I really like that kingdom. Definitely worthwhile to the player and meaningful to the player, but it doesn't hinder the experience for players who just want to get the moons.
Exactly, and the coins aren't that hard to get either. I mean, you see them sometimes. Sometimes you just accidentally collect them because you don't have to go out of your way for them. So they're there sometimes for like the simple stuff that you need, and it's done great.
Perfect. So that wraps up the things that we liked. Let's talk about some things that we wish were improved or did not like straight up.
Yeah.
What you got for me?
So the first thing I have, we were already talking about this. The Brutes, I think they're called. The Broodals. It was cool to have them in one kingdom, right? Maybe even a couple, but them coming back time and time again was way too cheesy for me, especially because of how easy they were, and just they didn't have much personality. I mean, all the Koopalings are like different. They have different hairdos, and these one's like a tall bunny, one's a short bunny, one
has a green hat, the other one has a blue hat.
Yeah, and it's kind of boring. And then even at the end, they're like, "Hey, fight two of the Broodals, and then go on, see Bowser." Take Peach away to a different kingdom, and then fight them all again. It's like, really, dude? We could have done that somehow better. I would have loved to see the Koopalings in here. It would have been much better fit.
Mm-hmm. I agree. The Broodals, I have little idea of who they are, like their backstory.
Yeah.
I didn't even really know that they were working with Bowser to make a wedding until I looked it up. So I didn't know that they were his sidekick in that way. I don't know why they dislike Mario in general. Is it just because, we're working for Bowser?
Brainwashed, yeah.
Yeah. And the idea to change enemies is good. Like, I think it's important that Mario stays fresh, and we don't see Koopalings from, like, all the way back to Super Mario Bros. 3, which was, like, a 90s game, all the way to here. So I think they were on the right track with changing it up. But the execution was just so poor. It didn't seem like it was taken care of the way that they took care of other parts of the game.
Yeah, it definitely seems like... Do you remember in Luigi's Mansion 2 how the ghost kind of didn't have a lot of personality, and then you jump to Luigi's Mansion 3 and there's a lot of personality, one's riding a horse, one's a piano player. It kind of felt like that where the bunnies just really didn't have much personality. It was kind of like, hey, we're brainwashed, we want to kill you, and then bye-bye, that's it.
I think that's a great comparison.
Yeah, whereas, the Koopalings, they all have personality when you fight them.
Yeah, you've been taught and trained that they're Bowser's underlings, and they despise you just as much as Bowser.
Yeah, and it's cool. Like, I like seeing Ludwig trying to fight me and bouncing on his ball and stuff. Like, it's what he does. It's cool. And maybe if they brought these back, maybe it'd be better if they did it in a certain way, but...
Right, if it was Odyssey 2 and they gave them more personality, you learn a little bit about their backstory. Maybe you don't even need to learn about their backstory, because I couldn't tell you the first thing about Iggy, like where he came from. But just making it more memorable. These were literally just plop down enemies, plop down bunnies. I was just like, okay, it looks like we need a boss for this.
Exactly.
And that's why I didn't feel that great.
The separate bosses, like the bird in Luncheon Kingdom and the one you're talking about in Metro Kingdom, were way cooler.
Yeah, hands down.
My next thing I did not like was, well, I love the kingdoms, but some are just way too forgettable. I mean, what did you do in the Wood Kingdom? And...
Dude, there's a Wood Kingdom?
Yeah.
I don't even remember the Wood Kingdom.
Or like Forest Kingdom, or what I can remember, like Luncheon, Snow, and Metro, and then what other kingdoms? I can't really remember any of the other ones.
Yeah, whereas I don't know if it's nostalgia talking or just like the fact that it's been around for 20 plus years at this point, but I can remember every single one of like Super Mario 64.
Yeah, and I can remember nearly every single thing in Super Mario Galaxy, so
It's weird though, because I feel like they took a lot of time and crafted these kingdoms like from the ground up, and you can tell that each one of them were crafted with care, but you're right, they don't stick in your mind the way that other planets or galaxies or courses do.
For sure, they were fun. They looked beautiful. They looked better than modern day Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. But just them being forgettable adds that thing where to make a game great, you have to like remember like, wow, I just played Wood Kingdom, and I really couldn't tell you what I did in Wood Kingdom.
Yeah, I feel you. So one dislike that I had was it's Mario. It's not really known for switching up its story, but this was like the most predictable story. This is your classic Mario feeling. Nothing goes awry to the point of being shocked to me. Sure, we were shot down one time from Bowser, but it was short-lived and easily fixed. We just had to go defeat another boss, and then bam, we were right back at his doorstep.
Yeah, correction, we were actually shot down twice.
Oh, we were.
Yeah, but the Ruined Kingdom and like the kingdom you didn't have Cappy for that little bit.
Oh, yeah.
But that doesn't take away from your point at all, and I agree.
Yeah, like, we just knew that we were supposed to defeat Bowser eventually. And
yeah, we knew it was going to happen.
Yeah.
But, I mean, that's kind of not a fair point to blame it on, that we knew we were going to defeat Bowser. But the point of predicting what's going to happen, yeah.
Yeah, like Pokemon games, they've thrown curveballs at you, like with Grovyle in the Mystery Dungeon.
Yeah.
Him being, like, the good guy instead of the bad guy. I just want something, like, what if the Broodals were good? Like, what if we were just thrown an ultra curveball for Mario?
Then there's, like, this heartbreaking story of what happened to them and why they're working for Bowser. They're being blackmailed.
Yeah, I
crazy.
just want some kind of content, but we were not delivered anything in there. And I don't think it should hold too much weight as a negative because every Mario game's like that.
Right, it's like hating on Pokemon for its graphics at this point.
Yeah, but I do think it is something we have to mention. So.
Absolutely. My next thing, maybe this doesn't really correlate with you as much because you were talking praise about it, but they did the abilities well with the gimmick and the hat, but I feel like there was more room to work with cooler stuff. It felt like they had one gimmick per kingdom and they could have used more, like the Goombas, and then it was you turn into the tanks, and then it was you turn into the long stretchy guys, and I feel like it could have been used more differently, especially with how many power moves were in the game, and obviously I'm probably not hitting some because I only collected 150 instead of 999.
Is there 999?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
So there's obviously some in there that I'm not using, but I also feel like they just had one gimmick per kingdom, and it wasn't much beyond that.
I can see why you dislike that. I definitely can resonate with that, but the one gimmick that they did do for each kingdom felt very strong. But if there was more variety in each kingdom, I definitely feel like it would be something that would be praised much more. But I didn't necessarily see it as a flaw. I just was like, wow, I can turn into a Goomba. Wow, now I can turn into a Koopa. Wow, I can turn into a Hammer Bro. There was a couple with each kingdom, but you're right. There was just one main one that was always focused on.
Yeah, and like I said, my likes about this game are much stronger than my dislikes, so this doesn't hold a bunch of weight, but it's still a thing that I felt like could have been done better.
Mm-hmm. So I got a couple more things I want to touch on before we move on to replayability. I have the pace of collecting moons felt very rapid. You can move on from each section before fully exploring. While in theory this is not bad because it leaves post-game content, it felt as though players did not need to explore much to beat the game. And in a way, it kind of promotes exploring because, wow, you can just move on from section to section really quick if you explore one dense area. But I feel like I don't think they, nailed the mark. Like, Nintendo Switch really hit the mark of being a hybrid console of handheld and at home, on the TV.
Right.
And I feel like Odyssey was trying to hit the mark of being, a traditional Super Mario 64, Mario Galaxy game while also being something you pick up and play for 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. But I feel like it was too much, and you could collect 6 moons in 5 minutes, man. It's wild. I wasn't a huge fan of it. I can see why some people would because they can load it up for 10 minutes and feel like they're progressing forward. But it wasn't for me. It's not my type. And again, it's just preference. So
I can see that, but I would also say that I'm part of the people that kind of like that. So it is just different taste.
Okay, I got one last thing. So the difficulty in this game is non-existent. That's something I did not like as well. Mm-hmm. The game is very easy and offers no punishment for dying or failing a task. You would fall down, and I remember I had 2,000 plus coins. I'd fall down in the hole, -10. Big whoop!
Yeah, it was kind of like Kirby Epic Yarnish, where it's just you respawn and you lose some beads. Yeah, it's not.
So, I mean, it's nice for casual players and people just trying to have a relaxed, fun time. But for people looking for a challenge, I don't think it was right. I don't think they nailed it. If there was an option where hey, you could have lives and you earn lives by collecting 100 coins, then I don't know, that might be something to look into for future Mario games, having settings like that, because I know a lot of games are going along that path of like, we don't want to punish you too much if you die because people don't like the punishment of death.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like completely leaving out any sort of punishment, I don't know. I don't feel any reward for beating this game. That's another thing. Like, you get to the end, you're versus Bowser.
Yeah, it's true.
It's a cool boss fight. Like, it's really cool. Bowser's all in his wedding outfit. You go and you punch him with his hat and whatnot. It's super cool in my opinion.
Yeah.
But it's not hard. And the feeling of winning is just like, okay, I won. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I did die a few times, but it wasn't really any satisfaction because it was just like it was kind of like a troll level. It was kind of like, oh, Bowser's gonna whip his tail 4 times now, and I was like, oh, I didn't expect that. Now I died, but now I know to jump over that same exact thing the next time, and I'm never gonna fail at that again.
Right. So that's my last gripe, and enough dissing the game, because this game was a great game, and I feel like we spent the bulk of it dissing it. Let's talk about the replayability and post-game content. What do you have?
Yeah, so I have, if you're into it, there's plenty of post-game power moons and kingdoms to collect and search around. Yeah, there's a ton. You can go back to like the main, Peach's Castle. I know there's like a dark side of the moon thing with some really hard power moons where you're probably going to die a bit. No punishment though. And yeah, there's just a ton of... there's like 999, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I believe I had a couple fans because I was actually streaming this, and people were like, oh, you have to collect 250 power moons, then you unlock the dark side of the moon. And then one was like, oh, you have to collect 500 power moons, then you unlock the darker side of the moon.
Yeah.
Oh, you have to go to the Mushroom Kingdom, go inside the castle, and then you can do a boss rush mode. Like, there is post-game content, hands down.
Yeah, for sure.
The main story is expected to take the player about 12 to 13 hours, which, can you attest that it take you about 12, 13-ish hours? Do you know?
I've beat this game twice on my profile, and I've played a collective 15 hours. So.
Wow. So, maybe not even. So, this game's a pretty quick game if you're just going for the story.
Yeah.
But, completionists, so those who want to get all the kingdom coins, get all the power moons, can expect to take upwards of 60 hours to experience all Odyssey has to offer.
Yeah.
The significant raise in completion time stems from all the extra moons players are able to collect, all the extra areas that are unlocked after certain requirements are met, and all the special kingdom coins that can be collected in each world. Also, we already talked about boss rush, different dark side of the moon, all that jazz.
Right. And for the replayability, well, it's kind of just personal, and if it's a good game, you're going to want to replay it again, and that's what comes here. The replayability is there. I can definitely see myself playing this game again, and that's after beating it for my second time. It's a great game. You're going to play it again, just like Mario Galaxy, Mario 64, all of those good ones. Not playing Sticker Star again, playing this one again.
Probably won't play Sunshine again, too.
Yeah, that's why I didn't mention it.
I completely agree. I just beat Super Mario 64 100%, but I can tell you, I'm probably going to beat it again by the time I'm 30. Just is.
Yeah, just how it happens,
But now we get to the juiciest part.
Oh, wow.
Let's talk about our ratings. Out of 10, what would you rate Super Mario Odyssey?
Yeah, so I gave it a 9 out of 10. So, Super Mario Odyssey is a near-perfect game with slight falls that just notch it a point for me. The concepts, movements, power moons, most of the enemies, little storyline were all super well done and super cool to me. Even the graphics are better than the newest Pokemon release, but the forgettable kingdoms and reused abilities just bring it down 1 point for me. If I could name more than Metro Kingdom and Snow Kingdom, then I would give it a 10. But the full capability of the game was just not showcased. They set the stage, but didn't completely capitalize, in my opinion. Nevertheless, this is nothing short of an amazing 3D Mario entry, and I want the next one so bad. After experiencing Galaxy and Odyssey, I can only imagine what the next mainline one will have in store.
Wow. Nicely said. And I can't believe this game is already 5 years old.
I know, it's crazy.
Came out October 2017. Sheesh.
Yeah.
And Breath of the Wild came out about the same time, and they already have their next release.
What's that one? Sorry.
Tears of the Kingdom. So, now it's time for my rating. And I'm going to be even more nice to this game. I know we've bashed it a lot, but I think this might go up as one of the highest ratings that I have rated.
I've given a 10 to Stardew Valley.
I don't think I've ever given a 10. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe.
I know you haven't. I would remember it.
But this game is a 9.5 out of 10. I definitely think Super Mario Odyssey is the best 3D Mario game, hands down. From the first moment you load up Super Mario Odyssey, you can tell that this game is going to be great. The graphics are crisp. The kingdoms you travel to are enjoyable. The whole layout is clean and easy to navigate. Almost all returning 3D Mario players will be thrilled about this new adventure. It introduces new enemies, new playstyles, kingdoms that feel fresh, and platforming that doesn't grow stale. There is something in Odyssey for everyone. You can enjoy bulldozing through the storyline quickly, or take your time and explore everything to get all the collectibles. Either way, it leaves players feeling content and satisfied. But that's it. All we will ultimately feel is content. This was a great Mario game, but it was not outstanding, knock your socks off great. There wasn't a moment where I felt this game stood out above every other Mario adventure. No plot twist that gave this game an edge. In fact, it was an entirely predictable, classic feeling 3D Mario adventure. But, even playing things safe, Nintendo manages to win our hearts with Mario. This is why this game is still so good. It holds up in almost all regards. Unfortunately, the same old song can only be sung good so many times. For me, the originality and difference from one game to the next is the only notable thing holding this game back from being perfect.
Yeah, well said. I can't believe you still gave it a 9.5 after that, but yeah.
Yeah, because going in, like, no one's going to be like, yo, Odyssey's terrible, man. Odyssey is great. We do these in-depth game reviews and we nitpick the little things. Like, I may have had 4 or 5 things I disliked, but those are tiny things that I disliked.
Yeah, the likes are way more heavy.
Yeah, so it's about outweighing the pros and the cons, and I definitely think there's so many more pros that
for sure.
It's not justifiable to give this game like a 7 or an 8. Like, it deserves between 9 and 10, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that's it. That wraps up our Super Mario Odyssey in-depth review. Without further ado, let's head over to the What's New and What We've Been Playing section. Ogly doggly, here we are over in the What's New and What We've Been Playing section. So, you know how I like to pop things off. Homie Low, right?
Let me hear it.
You've been grinding. All right,
it's true. This is actually true.
You've been grinding at the seafood, serving up the cod fillets.
Dude, do you know the code?
I don't know the code.
Sorry.
You've been on the hunt doing D-Scout missions.
I know, I got one after this.
Yeah. You've been... I think that's all you do to make money, right?
I mean, yeah, technically.
But you got no bills. You're just a big money baller, man.
Yeah.
Big money baller.
Yeah, dude, I've been out here on the Whatnot, right? And on Amazon. I got some gifts, and I got gifts for myself because, dude, who doesn't need more Wii games in their life? I'm trying to fill out, by the end of next year, I want to have, like, all the main big titles on the Wii. Because I'm only missing a few, like Kirby. There's a couple Kirby, like 25th Anniversary, Return to Dreamland. I need a Poke Park. But here's what I just picked up, right? I got Legend of Zelda, Skyward Sword. It's gone down in price. I did. I can show you the receipts.
That's cat, dude. Do you have Twilight Princess at all?
No, I was going to pick it up last night. Actually, I was seeing something for it, and the guy had it overpriced, and I would have to have it shipped. I was like, screw that, dude. Hopped off Whatnot real quick. And so I got both the Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. I got the winter one I don't have, and the earliest version I don't have. I also got the earliest version for the DS. So that's all tucked away and going to be in my collection. I also got another Wii game, which is like a Sonic one. It was a good price. Really? So I just got it. Yeah, so now I have 2 Sonic games in there. So yeah, some additions to the Wii collection, which I'm hyped for because I want to see it just like decked out and then
dude, you're like the only person I know who can spend like so much money right around Christmas, like just buying games.
Dude, because I don't have bills to pay. For now, I feel kind of stupid. I had in my Google Doc though, like, do I have a money problem? But nonetheless. And I got like 2 Christmas gifts and just some other random stuff. So yeah, good stuff.
Nice. For your boy, what's new? Well, nothing. That sums it up pretty quickly.
Nice, dude. You're not a big money baller, are you?
No. But we can transition over and talk about what have we been playing. I'll let you take the stage.
Yeah, so I beat Mario Odyssey, obviously. You know, I played like 75% of it before this month even started, and then I waited until after we were supposed to record it to finish the rest of it.
You know, that's a lot better than what you usually do, because usually you play like 10% of it,
right,
like a month in advance.
Maybe 2.
Yeah, and then you're like, you know what? Let me just not finish this game, Zelda, or...
What is Zelda? Sorry.
Or it gets to the last week and you're like, dude, I gotta grind like 3 hours a night on this game.
Hey, but it gets done. Most of the time.
Most of the time.
But besides that, Pokemon Scarlet came out. It's our in-depth review for December. I already have beaten every single storyline.
You know what you should do, honestly? You should fill out the review like right now while everything's fresh. And then
I definitely should.
Yeah, and then touch it up like when we get closer if you have anything else.
Great game. I'll just say that. I love it. I'm still going to be playing it. I'm trying to get into competitive Pokemon and stuff.
That's cool, dude. Would you ever
Yeah.
be interested in Pokemon cards, like, for real?
Maybe. But I already have a level 83. I'm going to grind more Terra raid battles tonight and tomorrow and the next day and get more level 100 Pokemon
Nice.
to just play around with. And yeah, I love the game. Tinkaton, so cool.
Awesome. So what has your boy been playing? Well, we've been popping off on the streams with some Super Mario
Yeah.
Odyssey. We finished that game up, obviously. And then I've
That
also,
rhymed, sorry.
Yeah, and then I've also been playing some Super Mario Maker 2. It's it's the turkey, man. Going back to our last episode.
Right, it's the turkey.
It's the turkey of 2022. I always go back to Super Mario Maker 2. Something about it just feels right, and I
For sure.
actually enjoy Mario Maker 2 like a lot. I love playing other people's levels. I love just playing bad, good, mediocre, troll, everything.
Yeah, gotta do what you gotta do.
And then I also started Pokemon Yellow. Don't know if I'll finish this. It doesn't give a lot of love on stream, but it is something that I really like and something I kind of want to play as like a tribute to the new Pokemon games coming out or that came out. I want people to remember where we came from. You know?
Yeah.
And
We've
Pokemon
come
Yellow
a long way.
Yeah, Pokemon Yellow is a great game to see where did Pokemon even stem from.
For sure. I also want to put it out there. You got me, what is it called? Mario Super Strikers?
Yes, sir.
Something like that.
Oh, no, Mario Superstar Baseball.
Mario Superstar Baseball for my birthday, which is super cool. We played it. It's pretty funny.
What was the one mode we played, like Toy Town or whatever?
Toy Field? Dude,
That
that
was
is so
awesome.
confusing. I was like glitching in the background. That was so cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm hyped to have that. So now I have the baseball for the GameCube and the Wii.
Yep.
So great. Good stuff there. I also picked up Black Friday deals. Pokemon Diamond. Brilliant Diamond. Shining Diamond. Something like that. And
Brilliant
WarioWare
Diamond. Oh, yeah.
for the Switch. I have those besides me right now.
Oh, my gosh. That reminds me. I bought something. Dude,
Oh,
I bought Bunny Park,
You got
man.
Bunny Park. I was going to get that too.
Really?
Yeah, but then they didn't have Turnip Boy tax evasion for $20, so I was like, I'm not going to buy anything.
Ah.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
that's what's new and what we've been playing. Our closing coins. I'm assuming there's not much. Do you have anything?
No, I don't.
I just want to put out there, On About 97, which is your boy, has been popping off on the YouTube. We're almost at 150 subs. I believe we're at like 148. Check it out. My last
dude.
Super Mario Maker 2 video actually did very good. We got like over 200 views.
I know, that's crazy.
The last couple streams have been doing pretty solid, so that's
Yeah,
that.
for
And
sure.
then the final remark I want to make, right? We're going into December, right? So this
True.
is the last
Yeah.
month of 2022. Is there anything that any of you listeners who are still listening right now, because you guys are the real ones, is there anything new you guys would like to see going into 2023?
Yeah, because we're rebranding, basically.
We're gonna
Season 3.
polish up all the questions. We're gonna polish up all the docs. We're gonna polish up like a lot of what's going into this podcast. So if you have any input, how to make it better, different segments you want seen, how we run things, just let us know. Bring it to our attention in the socials.
Yeah, I totally agree. Guys, if you are listening this far, be sure to send us a message at NintendoRose93 on Instagram or Nintendo6 on Instagram. We actually have two if you guys didn't know. But either one works. Text us Minecraft over there for a shout out on the next episode. We do hope you have enjoyed episode number 90. Number 100 is coming soon. Also our 52nd anniversary, if you know, you know. Right? Am I wrong?
No, dude, you're not wrong.
Okay, I was just checking. Yeah, we do hope you guys have enjoyed our Super Mario Odyssey in-depth review. Also text us your scores for Super Mario Odyssey because we are very curious about that. Make sure to check out the homie Jake and On About 97 and all the socials, especially YouTube, because he needs to pop off more over there.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. You can check me out on Onaship 03. Not doing too much right now. I run a different channel that's not related whatsoever to Nintendo, but that doesn't matter because I'm not going to promote basketball on Nintendo. Guys, we do hope you have enjoyed, and we hope you have a great night, evening, wherever the heck you guys are in your day. We love Nintendo. We'll see you all next time.
Bye.